Hi, I'm Brittany Overmiller, and this is my parental apathy case study. What I know Mrs. Rose is new to John F. Kennedy School as assistant principal. I know she just completed her master's over the summer, with her last class being school community relations, where she learned about how important it is to have involvement at your school. I know Mrs. Rose is concerned about the lack of involvement with parents in the community. There is no PTO or PTA currently. I also know Mrs. Rose took her concerns to the principal. The principal assumed everything was fine and parents were better off alone. I also know that very few parents attended meetings and small amount of volunteers at the school. There's a negative outcome making situations worse. What I know continued. Now the principal thought the community did not want to be involved and expected educators to do their work alone. I know Mrs. Rose kept her comments to herself about the principal's thoughts. I know Mrs. Rose, yet again, talked to the principal about the need for community involvement. She's highly encouraging it. There was a meeting that was scheduled to see if parents were interested in getting involved with the school. I know students were to relay a message to parents about the meeting being held for parent involvement. At the meeting, 8 parents attended, and the principal decided not to go along with the meeting because of the small outcome that came to the meeting. What I need to know why the principal thinks parents don't want to get involved in the school their kids attend. I need to know why the principal feels a lack of apathy from parents. I need to know what negative consequences happened to make situations worse when he had volunteers help. I need to know why getting parent involvement wasn't more publicized within the community. I need to know why the principal didn't continue with the meeting for the 8 parents that did show up. What is the problem? The problem is the lack of community involvement at John F. Kennedy School. The problem is how the principal is getting parents involved. Sounds like parent involvement is only needed when convenient. It didn't sound like it was very publicized. It's only when he needs somebody. The problem is the lack of parent involvement needed more publicly or giving resources to do so. The problem is the principal decided not to have a meeting with the 8 parent volunteers who did attend, who wanted to help get involved in the school at the start. It might not be a huge outcome at the beginning. The action plan. I would talk to my principal about my concerns a little further. Then I would encourage to find ways of getting the community involved with our school, such as web pages, flyers, through the radio, television, apps from the teachers, newsletters and more. Next, I would meet with our staff for ideas on how we could get some of the ideas started so the community would know who we are and what we're about. I would use our resources. We could invite parents to our meetings and create a PTO or PTA group of members. This would go on whether 1 person or 10 showed up. Students shouldn't be responsible to pass the message along. This could have been one of the problems. Some parents might not have gotten the message from their children. Resolution. There needs to be a relationship between the school and community to create a common ground. With the community, parents, and staff united, we can do what's best for our students as a team. There would be a PTA or PTO created to aid the support at the school. This would give more opportunities for our students. With different ways for the community to see what we're doing, they'd be more involved with newsletters, social media, and more. This would reduce confusion and responsibility for students to relay messages from school to home. Debriefing the problem. What I was thinking, how do I get the community involved using social media, flyers, and more? What steps do I take as a vice principal to not step on the principal's toes? What's in the best interest of our school and for our students? How do I show the principal that whether 1 or 10 people show up, it's better than 0 for our involvement that we have now at our school? What I was feeling unsure why there was a lack of involvement. I was feeling alone since the principal didn't feel it was necessary for involvement. I was feeling confused since the previous master's class discussed the importance of involvement for the community. I was feeling uncertain and didn't want to take the actions that would upset or step on my principal's toes. What I was valuing parent and community involvement in our child's or children's education. I was valuing gaining community support. I was valuing what's best for our school and children. These are the ones getting the short end of the stick through all of this. I was valuing doing what was right for our school based on what I learned previously in the course. And I was valuing parents who came to the meeting who were interested in getting involved with our school. What is still unresolved? Will the principal have a meeting to get parents involved no matter how many show up? Will there be ways to get the community involved, such as apps, newsletters, and more? Will these be implemented to build the community involvement at our school? Will there be a PTO or PTA in the end for our school? Will the principal feel more support from the community if the list above is successful? School success. I collaborated with families and community members to contribute to school success by getting the staff involved to find out how we could reach out to our community, encouraging our principal consistently to reach out to our community for involvement, creating a meeting where students would not be responsible to relay messages to see what parents were interested to create a group to get involved within our school. Diverse needs and interests. As an administrator, I showed and responded to the diverse needs and interests of the community on an ongoing basis by reaching out to the community using different sources such as newsletters, apps, flyers, school web pages, social media, and more, talking to any parents who came to the meeting who wanted to be involved with the school no matter how many showed up, by wanting parents within the community to know they are valued within the school in every aspect of their child's education. Community resources. As an administrator, I mobilized the community's resources to address and help solve problems in a way that supports the school by talking to the principal about my concerns with the lack of community involvement, encouraging my staff to get on board and aid in creating a way for our community to be aware of who we are and a way of communication, by inviting the community to a meeting where we could discuss ways for involvement in creating a PTO or PTA group.